Hello, thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about the two halves of the double stitch. In a previous video we talked about the lock chain, which is the first half of the stitch is flipped and the second half is not. Flipped, unflipped, flipped, unflipped. Two sides of the knot, creating a zigzag type chain, a lock chain, and you're not making a ring, but it's two halves of the stitch. In today's video, I wanted to talk about what you can do using just the first half of the stitch. If you only make the first half of the stitch with a ring, this is called a Josephine ring. Now you can do the first half of the stitch over and over again to make each stitch for the stitch count, or you can do the second half. It depends, whichever you prefer. So we're going to do this ring, and this is size 3 thread. I think I did 12 or 14 stitches here. The difference with these types of rings is the thread tends to really curl. So I would recommend that you make your stitches rather loosely, because when you try and close it, it's going to be more difficult than the balanced stitches if you're doing both halves. So you do the first half of the stitch the same way. You just don't do a second half. You just do another first half. And you keep doing the first halves the same way you do any other ring. You're just not doing the second half of each stitch. And because I tend to tat so quickly, and because this is instinct to me now, I usually, if I'm doing Josephine rings, I need to really slow down so I don't automatically do the second half. Okay, so now you've done as many as the pattern requires or you want. Make sure they all slide. Take that off and see it really is tending to curl there. So you make sure, pull your ends together, close that carefully so you don't get a knot down there. Close your ring, and it looks like a ring, but it's a little different. That's a Josephine ring. That's either all the first halves of the stitch or all the second half. And that's the ring. If you want to do a chain with all the first or second halves, you start your chain the same way, but you do the same thing. You just make one side of the stitch over and over again. And the thing about this type of chain is because the thread will tend to curl on you. See, I'm just doing that over and over again. And after 10 or 15 stitches, maybe 20, when you take the thread off your hand and you twist that, because of the way the twist is in the thread and you've only done the one half, you will get a spiral chain. Another very effective decorative type chain that you could use for ornament hangers or little bracelets, bookmark tassels. But it's another way to practice your stitch flips, but just using 1/2 of the stitch. So I just wanted to show that technique to you today. Thank you for watching, and I hope you keep practicing.